ninth standard students for this online classes. These classes, the main motto of these classes is to make you too busy with the subjects. Usually when you daily discuss about the subject, you will not forget it. But when there is some gap in preparation of subjects, then we will forget all these information, so that to make you aware about the subject and also to make you busy with the subject, we started online classes. I hope you are getting some other subjects also in online. We are making the videos of particular topics, and those will be uploaded into the YouTube in RVSR group or personal teachers groups, and those groups, those YouTube link will be sent to you, each to every student of ninth standard, and those you can open the link and you can listen the videos completely, and then whatever the questions asked by the teachers, you can send the answers to the teachers personally, their personal numbers, not in the groups. Okay, I hope everybody will be following these online classes and be contact touch with the teacher as well as the subject. Okay, and today with regards of this ninth standard biology, we are going to discuss about tissues. The topic name is tissues. In the previous lesson, that is cell structure, we have discussed about the different types of cells, cell structure, and what are the information is given for the cell, and who discovered the cell, who discovered the microscope, what are the parts of the microscope, how this microscope will be working. These all we have discussed about completely. And now this chapter, this is the tissues chapter. Usually we will get to the different types of tissues like plant tissues as well as the animal tissues. In such a way we will get it. And in this before learning of this tissues lesson, we just recollect the matter that we discussed in the previous lesson. So we are all the living organisms. Yes, we know that we are all the living organisms, so we have the living cells in our body. Every living cell can show the living characteristics. The metabolic activities will be run in the living organism body. The cells, you might be finding that the cells are organized to form the tissues. Cells are organized to form the tissues. Tissues are organized to form the organs. Organs are organized to form the organ systems. And these organ systems are formed organisms. In the lower classes, you have learnt about the unicellular organisms as well as the multicellular organisms. Even today, we can find the unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms means the organisms which have the only one cell in their body, and the total metabolic activities of that organism will be conducted by only that cell, like amoeba, paramecium, euglena. These all the organisms will have the only one cell, and that cell will be conducting all the metabolic activities. When come to the multicellular organisms, such as single cells are formed together as a tissue, and all the tissues are formed together organs and and organs into organ systems, and organ systems into organs. Multicellular is like a human being. Multicellular organisms having the number of cells, and all the cells are directed or differentiated into a particular activity. For example, eye is a particular organ. In that, the cells which are presented there, those are photoreceptor cells. Those receptor cells will receive the light information and sent to the brain. Here those cells and the tissues which are presented in the eye are form as an organ. Okay, so here the group of cells which are similar in structure, similar in function, and similar in origin. The group of cells which are similar in structure and perform the same function and originated from the same place. Those group of cells are called as tissue. The group of cells are called as tissue. Here simply if you write group of cells are called as tissue, you never get a single mark. Group of cells which are similar in structure, perform the same function and originated from the same place. Those together called as a tissue. The study of tissue is called as histology. The study of tissues is called as histology. The study of tissues is called as histology, and this name, histology name, first coined by Mayer. A scientist called as Mayer, and the term tissue is coined by Bichat. A scientist called as Bichat. The term tissue is coined by Bichat. The term histology, the science of tissues, means study of tissues and their functions, is called as histology. That was given by Mayer. Okay, and I told you that study of cells is called as cytology. Study of cells is called as cytology. Okay. So these tissues, today we are going to discuss about what are the tissues are presented in the living organism's body and what is their function. Those are all we are going to discuss in this topic. This is called as tissues. Okay, and according to their function, according to their basic structure and origin, all the tissues are classified into two types: plant tissues as well as animal tissues. Let us learn about the plant tissues first. Plant tissues, based on the origin as well as the structure as well as the function, the plant tissues have been classified into two types, that is simple tissues, meristematic tissues, and the permanent tissues. So the plant tissues, based on their structure and shape as well as the origin, they are classified into two types: meristematic tissues as well as the permanent tissues. Meristematic, let us learn about the meristematic tissues. The tissues which are having the cells called as embryonic cells. Embryonic cells are presented in the meristematic tissues. What is the meaning of this embryonic cells? The meaning of this embryonic cells is The cells which are continuously divide, the cells which are continuously divide and form the new cells. So the meristematic cells are having the completely embryonic cells where they are continuously dividing and form the new cells. Okay, and these new cells are integrated in the body parts, various body parts, and the plant will be developed. So based on that, and these meristematic tissues are presented in the particular areas of the plant. So based on that area, location, based on that location, the meristematic tissues are of three types. Apical meristem, lateral meristem, intercalary meristem. These are the three types of meristematic tissues are presented there. And before learning of these three, what are the characteristics of meristematic tissue or meristematic cells? As I told you that these are all the embryonic cells, they are continuously divide and form the new cells. The cells are very much small in size and they have the very thin cell wall. They have very thin cell wall. The first characteristic of the meristematic cells is thin cell wall. And small vacuoles are present. Small vacuoles are present. Small vacuoles are present. Thin wall, thin cell wall, and small vacuoles are present. Sometimes vacuoles also absent completely. And these are arranged in a compact manner, compactly arranged without leaving the intercellular spaces. Compactly arranged. Compactly arranged means that the cells are arranged side by side without leaving a gap between, without leaving a gap. In this way, without leaving a gap, the cells are arranged compactly. No gap is presented between the cells here. Suppose if the cells are having the spherical in shape. If the cells are having the spherical in shape, if they arrange, you might be seeing that they are loosely arranged. They are not compactly arranged and leaving the intercellular space. You can see at the triangle shaded portion is there. This is called intercellular space. And this intercellular space is absent in between the cells of the meristematic tissue because they are compactly arranged, because their structure is isodiagonal, means that they will be having the compact nature, they are attaching each other completely. And these are, some of them are rectangular in shape, some of them are rod-like structures, some of them are the spherical in structure. Yeah, that is depend upon the place where they are presented. The structure of the meristematic tissue cells are based on the place where they are presented, their shape will be arranged. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the meristematic tissue. And let us learn the types of the meristematic tissue and what is their function. There are three types of meristematic tissue, as I told you already that there are three types of meristematic tissue, that is apical meristem, lateral meristem and intercalary meristem. When talking about the apical meristem, if you take a plant meristematic tissue that is presented at the shoot apex of the, what is that? Shoot apex. Shoot apex of the plant, and at the root apex. What is that? The root apex. At the shoot apex and root apex. So the meristematic tissue which is presented at the shoot apex and root apex is called as apical meristem. The location of the apical meristem is in every plant it is presented at the shoot apex as well as at the root apex. This is called as apical meristem. And all the embryonic cells are presented here. You find that one. You might be in the root system. If you go to the root system, you will be having a cup-like structure will be presented here. When you take a coconut root, the white color cup-like structure will be presented there. This is called as the root cap. Inside the root cap, the meristematic tissues are presented. Okay, I will explain you how it will be possible. All these I will tell you later. And here the root cap. In this root cap, inside the root cap, these meristematic cells are presented, embryonic cells. So they are continuing. This is the root, and the same thing will be presented in the shoot also. Okay, this is the shoot. Shoot apex and root apex. In these areas only the apical meristem is present. And the cells are completely embryonic cells, and these are continuously dividing and form the new cells. So that because of the division of the apical meristem in the shoot apex and root apex of the plant, the height of the plant is increasing day by day, day by day, day by day. Height of the plant, the shoot system will be run towards the sunlight, and the root is run towards the earth, soil. So this is possible. The height of the plant is increased only because of the division at the place of meristematic tissue, where it is presented, that is the shoot apex as well as in the root apex. Okay, the function of the meristematic tissue is increasing the height of the plant, that is the primary growth, that is called as the primary growth. The increasing of height of the plant because of the division of apical meristem. Division of apical meristem at the shoot apex and the root apex is called as primary growth. In this primary growth, the height of the plant will be increases. Okay, and come to the next one is the lateral meristem. So you might be seeing that there are big trees will be presented there, like mango tree, banyan tree, peepal tree, this neem tree, like a different variety of trees are presented there. Their trunk, that means the stem of the tree will be huge complete. So here the lateral meristem is presented in the lateral sides of the trees. Lateral sides of the trees. That means if you take the stem of the tree in this way like this, so these are called as lateral sides. In these areas, in the lateral sides of the plant or trees, the meristematic tissue is presented there. This is called lateral meristem. And this lateral meristem is also having the embryonic cells, and these are dividing continuously and increases the diameter of the plant, so that the size of the stem will be increases day by day, day by day, day by day. Okay, huge, they become the huge trees. This is only because of the lateral meristem that is presented in the lateral sides of the plant. Okay, so their girth means diameter. Diameter of the plant trunk means the stem will be increased because of the lateral meristems. Okay, let us learn intercalary meristem. Okay, the increasing of size of the diameter of this tree because of the division of the lateral meristem. Division of the lateral meristem is called as secondary growth. Secondary growth. Secondary growth is a phase of the trees. It is present only in the trees. It occurs only in the trees. Phase of the trees where the diameter of the tree will be increases because of the growth and development of the lateral meristem that is projected in the lateral sides of the stem of the trees. Let us come to the know learning about this intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem is presented. Suppose if you take the plant, this is the root system and this is the shoot system. Already you have learned that one. So this is the branch and this is the one more branch. Branch 1, branch. So the place where the branches are attached to the main stem, the places where the branches are attached to the main stem, those places are called as nodes. So intercalary meristems are presented in the places where the two successive nodes are present. The place between the two successive nodes, this is called as internode. In this area, these intercalary meristems are presented. Not only these internodes, these are intercalary meristems also presented at the base of the branches, where they are attached to the stem. At the base of the branches also they will be presented. Which one? The intercalary meristems. So because of the division of this intercalary meristem, the length of this internode will be increased and also new branches will be occur wherever the branches are attached to the main stem or leaves are attached to the branches. To all the places this intercalary meristems are presented. So new organs are formed because of the intercalary meristem. Okay, this is the about meristematic tissue. And next video we are going to discuss about the permanent tissues. We are going to discuss about the permanent tissues of the